Mayday, mayday, mayday. Good morning, traders. If you looked at the market, you'd know that that distress call is warranted. We've got the market selling off. You can see this big gap down right here. In my early morning comments, I felt that we might see a gap and that we could have a little bit of a bounce into that gap and that we would have a nice trade from the long side. And we did trade from the long side. In fact, I made money on Facebook, Netflix, CLX. Those are some of my longs. And the problem was that we couldn't get into the gap. You could see a long tail above body here. We tested the low, really couldn't get below that. We had a nice 10P cross right here. So we had a nice little bounce, but a lower high. As soon as I saw this with tails above body forming, I told everyone in the chat room, I said, that's it. We're going to have a bearish trend day. And here's why. Selling pressure was very, very heavy, so much so that we couldn't even test that opening price. And then we made a lower high. What this tells me is that normally you would get a relief bounce during the morning, and even on a bearish trend day, then you would get follow through selling right away. Since we didn't see that and we weren't even able to get into the gap at all, that told me we were headed lower. So we had a nice 10P cross right here, and I got short the S&P. I made a little bit of money on them, but I didn't stick with the position very long. Wanted to do this recording. I did short some stocks that worked out well. I shorted ZM and CMI, made money on those. And you can see how the market is bouncing right now. So I believe that we're a little bit overextended. You've got a downward sloping channel like this. Connect the highs, and you'll see the downward sloping channel, and then the breakdown right here. Usually on these breakdowns below a channel, you'll get a bounce. And that's exactly what I just mentioned to my members in the chat room. I'm going to show you that information, and then we're going to go back to doing some analysis. So these are my pre-open market comments. Want to show you here, we have been short the SPY at 288 on the way up. That was my first target that I had. Oh gosh, I set that about 3-4 weeks ago. We hit it, and that's where I wanted to short the market as well. So we've been carrying a short position, and you can see in my pre-open market comments posted 5 minutes before the open that I was also suggesting to place a limit order at 286 today on the SPY to get short. So we were able to short at 286 right on the opening. The high of the day is 286.04. So we have a full short position on. Now these are generic comments that I post across many different websites and in my blog. So I keep these instructions fairly general on the overall market, but we are short a couple of bearish call spreads. We're short some bullish put spreads that are actually out of the money and doing okay for us. Here's what I see playing out. You know that every day, if you watch these videos, I've been warning that as soon as the mega cap tech earnings are done, that the air is going to get let out of the balloon and that the market's going to have a chance to sell off. Well, after Wednesday night's earnings from Facebook and Microsoft, the news was excellent and the market was not able to rally. Tesla was excellent also. So then yesterday, we follow up with Amazon and Apple, and the market was down about 60 S&P points on the opening today. So now we are done with the mega cap tech giants. Those were the best of the best, and these companies have even benefited from the virus. The other thing about the early announcements is that they have not included that many weeks of the shutdown. But now, with every additional week that we get into earnings season, those companies are going to have an extra week or 2 or 3 that they've actually had during the shutdown. And that's when we're really going to see the devastation. I also feel that states are very slow in reopening, and that this shutdown is lingering in many cases, and I don't feel that consumers are ready to get right back to it. Yes, workers are eager to get back to work, but if they look around and the orders aren't coming in and the customers aren't coming in, they're going to wonder about job security. They are not going to open their wallets for a good 2 or 3 months, especially when they've had a hard time meeting their bills over the course of the last 4 to 6 weeks. Half of the people polled said that they cannot meet May's rent. Not a good situation. We've also got property taxes coming up, at least in my neck of the woods. in June, and I think that people are going to have difficulty paying those property tax bills. That could pose a problem to municipalities. So, in any event, the longer this shutdown drags on, the greater the chance that there are going to be some credit issues along the way. Companies that were faltering before the virus are going to go into bankruptcy, and we're seeing a number of bankruptcies each day, most of them in the energy or retail space. So let's get back to the market. You know that I've been bearish. I said I'm not going to short this market until, wait for it, we have a technical breakdown. And I've been drawing this upward sloping trend line in my daily videos. Please go back and watch them if you question that I'm telling you the truth. And we also had support here at SPY 288. That was the level that we broke out above. That was the 100-week moving average that I've been referring to in all of my videos as well. And so I'm going to put up the 100 period moving average. I'm going to click on the weekly chart, and you can see that was my first target. We got above it, and now we're below it. Now it is resistance once again. So that technical support has been breached today. And we have that upward sloping trend line that I showed you on D1. It also has been breached. I've been mentioning that the market might try and get up to SPY 300 this week if the earnings reactions to all the mega cap tech stocks are super favorable. Never even got close. Our best chance for that was after a nice strong close on Wednesday, that if we would have had follow through Thursday morning on those big earnings numbers, and the stocks were up early in the day. They had really positive earnings reactions. Didn't happen. We started to see selling right away yesterday. That's when I knew the market was in trouble. I'm expecting us to roll over and keep selling off. This is the next leg of the bear market right now that we're going to be seeing over the course of the next 3 or 4 weeks. And I'm not looking for any one news event that's going to be so devastating that the bottom falls out. I think it's going to be a Chinese water torture where day after day after day, we're just not seeing the recovery that we need to get back on track right away. And that's going to start raising some major concerns. Earnings season has provided little to no guidance or clarity. Companies are pulling their guidance. Intel, Amazon, Apple, no guidance. They don't know what to expect. Asset managers don't like uncertainty, and so the bid is going to be soft. And we also have corporations preserving cash, so most buyback programs have been canceled. That's another reason that the bid to the market is going to weaken. So how do we play today? Today is a bearish trend day. I've already told you why I feel that way. We're going to continue to drift lower. Now, we'll probably check this level a couple of times. You would need to see 1, 2, maybe even 3 bounces, and then we'll probably lift off a little bit, and we'll have a rally for maybe about an hour, maybe 90 minutes, and then we can expect to see further selling into the close. I am not looking for any decent bounce until the last 30 minutes of trading. I don't feel that anyone's going to want to go into the weekend long. So we should see selling pressure throughout the course of the day. So that's how I see the market shaping up today. Let's go and take a look at a couple of plays that we had yesterday. Yesterday when I did the video, we had a nice backdrop. We had some big earnings releases. The market was doing well. We had Apple and Amazon on deck, so you have to assume after Wednesday night's reaction that we'd probably get a little bit of a decent reaction on Thursday at least. That's what I felt in my comments yesterday. eBay was one of the longs that I had suggested, and you could have day traded that from the long side yesterday and done very, very well. If you bought the high for an overnight swing trade, you lost some money on the open today. That market move definitely hit us. So eBay was not a particularly great pick for an overnight swing trade. And SDC, same kind of deal there, but it rallied late yesterday. You had a chance to exit SDC at a scratch today with the S&P futures down 60 points, folks. That is a win. And if you ever see this, get the heck out of the trade. If you have a chance to scratch a bad trade, never miss that opportunity. And CLX was the other long that I liked yesterday. You can see it did very well into the close yesterday, and it's doing well today. This is a nice long for today. After earnings, really good reaction. Stock continuing to grind higher, benefiting from coronavirus. People buying all sorts of bleach products to disinfect. So CLX doing very well today. Got a couple of other stocks that I'll show you that I like, but you really want to be focused on the short side in here. Almost all the stocks that you can short will be the laggards, the dogs that I've been referring to recently. Entertainment industry, RCL, CCL, airline industry, energy stocks, hotels, restaurants. Those are the stocks that you want to be short. Those are the ones that are going to really take the brunt of the shutdown extension. So let's go in and take a look, see what we've got. I'm going to go into my, see, we've had a market sell-off here, so relative strength will be easy for us to spot. And I'm going to go into my bullish searches, and I'm going to click on relative strength 30. Let's take a look. I don't have anything that's green today. So I don't have anything that's bouncing in here. These would be some stocks that I would look at. Bull Run will be another one that I would look at to see which stocks are moving higher. CODX, I'm long CODX. And actually, I am out of CODX. I just hit my target and took profits on it. But you can see the relative strength that I speak of. So right here, I'm going to overlay the SPY. And you can see market down, 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 down. What's the stock doing? Higher lows. Okay, so I got long this stock early, and then I bought some more right in here, and I set my target above my entry price to take profits on it. CODX looks good. I'm going to take the SPY chart off, go into the D1 chart. On a D1 basis, you can see higher low, nice upward sloping trend line. We're above the 20-day moving average, above the 50-day moving average, decent volume. This stock looks like it wants to go higher today, but it is choppy. Is this a long-term buy and hold? No, but I think you can day trade it from the long side today. CLX I've already shown you. I like that one. SGEN I made a really nice trade on today. I think that stock's going to try and go higher. You can see nice horizontal breakout, compression up in here. This is a compression for this stock. It's a mover, so you can see up and down, but in this range. And it has tried to make a new high for the day. Let's put up that M5 chart. And you can see higher low. Stock finding support right in here. It wants to run. Now, we got long in here, made about $2.50 on the upside. These long tails under body told me that there was a lot of pent-up demand. And let's put that SPY chart up so you can see what I mean. You've got the market coming in hard right in here, down, down. And look what the stock is doing. It's inching its way higher when the market is selling off. That is a classic sign of relative strength. So when you pick the stocks well, you can even buy a stock like this looking for a market bounce, and you don't get the market bounce. But because you're in the right stock, you still make money in the trade. Now, if I've got this happening and the bottom's falling out of the market, I'm going to set very passive targets and try and get out of it as soon as I possibly can. But I still have a chance to scratch the trade or make money because I'm in the right stock. If I would have made that mistake and I would have shorted the S&P futures, let's say in here looking for a bounce, I am going to have my butt handed to me when the bottom falls out. That is why we trade stocks with relative strength, and we use that as a surrogate market position. That's why you see these videos day in and day out. I'm telling you about all the money that we're making and the stocks that we're in and why this systematic approach works. So I like SGEN to play for a bounce today when the market looks like it's ripe for one. So we've got one here. We need another test, maybe another one. Then we should get a decent bounce. You can see the 10P indicator starting to have a little bit of a bullish cross right here. So let's keep looking down the list and see what else we've got in here that I like. Walmart showing a little bit of strength today. That looks good. You can see it's through the high of the day. It's starting to grind higher. Look at that relative strength. Market down, down, down. Stock up, up, up. I would definitely be buying Walmart, and I'm going to post that right now in the chat room so that my members can see that. And let's take another look at ODFL, see what that's doing. Really nice relative strength. Take a look at that daily chart. pretty choppy, but trying to get through resistance. I've already given you a couple of decent longs. CLX looks good. SGEN looks good. CODX looks good. You got to be careful with overnight swings heading into the weekend. On the bullish side, we have a technical breakdown in the market, so I would favor the short side with any swing trades. But all three of those that I just mentioned are good day trading candidates for a bounce. So let's go to the flip side. Let's see what we've got working on the short side. Heavy selling. Gosh, Amazon is post earnings. Elon Musk has been out tweeting like mad today. Stock not receiving the news well. He said the stock was overvalued, so you can see Tesla's pulling back a little bit. Baidu is one that I've been highlighting. In fact, I showed you that bearish call spread earlier in the week. That looks beautiful. That's coming in very nicely. Alibaba, I showed you that short on Wednesday. Also talked about the bearish call spread on that stock. We'll put up the major moving averages, the 200 and the 100 day, and above that 100 day is where we were selling that bearish call spread. That little green bar in there might have given everybody a little bit of a scare for one day, but we were still way out of the money on that one. And look at the bottom fall out. Hello. That's a really nice one. So I like Bob on the short side, but let's keep going. Qualcomm news yesterday that announced after the close. You can see how it kisses that 100-day moving average, got above that 200-day moving average briefly on the open, closed on its low of the day, follow through today. Not good. Upward sloping trend line. I believe Huawei has replaced Qualcomm as the leading chip seller in China. So let's see, continue to go down, see what else we've got. I'm going to be looking at a couple of other searches here. I really want to hone in on something that looks decent. All of the retail and restaurant stocks, DRI is one that I shorted yesterday. I believe I showed you that in the video. So we've got that stock with an evening star right here. Stock is pulling back below the 20-day moving average today. It looks particularly weak. That's a restaurant company. That one should come in nicely. Let's see what else we've got. I'm just going to click through a few of these, and we're going to take a look. See what we've got that'll work well on a swing trading basis. So I'm going to look primarily for swing trading right now. Here's a nice cup and handle. There's the lip, pokes through, failed. So now that's below. I can't say that would be my favorite short in here. STNG has been a really nice stock that I've traded this week. I'm just going to click through and I'm just going to keep looking to see what else I can find for you. I think that Tesla might work out as a good short. Let's take a look at that relative weakness intraday, see what the stock is doing. I noticed a long tail here, so it's bounced, and it might be coming off of those lows. It is, but that's still quite a bearish looking chart for the day. Let's go in. I'm going to take a look at ZM. That's a stock that I shorted. ZM looks pretty good on the short side, but it's finding support here, so not my favorite. And this looks pretty good. CMI looks like an excellent short. Here's what I like about CMI. So it comes and gets just above that 200-day moving average, and it sits there for about a day. And then all of a sudden, today, it takes out the 200-day moving average and the 100-day moving average. It's going to fill in this gap. Heavy equipment maker. I think that this stock is going to start to pull back a bit. So I like CMI on the short side. Any stocks that you have in the retail space, especially brick and mortar, KSS, I could put up any one of these that come to mind. And I'm sure they're all going to be relatively weak today. So look for those breakdowns that I've mentioned, seeing if there's anything else that just strikes me right away. Relative weakness 30. Go through these quickly. Facebook posted a good number, so I'm not overly bearish on that. I think it's just following the market. Boeing has really been struggling, although they had a decent bond auction. I believe they sold about $25 billion worth of bonds, some of them expiring in 2060. The demand for those bonds was pretty good, but this stock has so much bad news. It's got a nice downward sloping trend line here on a daily basis. I think it's a good short. BBY, retailer, big gap up here. Lots of buying. People going to be buying electronics when they don't know how secure their job is? I'm tending to doubt it. There were some computer sales because of the shutdown. People needed to communicate. They needed access to the internet. They were buying computers. So I think they got some decent sales there. But you can see here, stock gets above that 100-day moving average. Boom. Selling yesterday. Closes below that 100-day. Gap down today. We're below the 200-day. It says nice selling pressure. BBY works as a short. So I'm going to write down some of these symbols. I would have to say CMI looks really good. I like that BBY chart right there. I think that's going to set up well for a short. And that's about it. I will do a video on Sunday night. I'm going to take a look at the overnight markets, see what they're doing, and then I will try and find another good short for you Sunday night, and I'll post that video. I'm also going to be releasing my swing trading video that I publish Wednesday nights. I'm going to be publishing that to YouTube tomorrow, so watch for that to hit YouTube. You can go in and see my analysis earlier this week, see what I was telling my subscribers as far as my market sentiment, how we needed to position ourselves, and then you'll be able to take a look and see how those stocks are faring this week. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on your notifications. I do these videos all the time. Sometimes I see something I like, I'll do a quick video. If you subscribe to the channel and turn the notifications on, you'll never miss one of these videos, and they will have great trade ideas in them. Thank you. Trade well. Have a good weekend. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers, and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.